Delay. Focus. There it is. That's weird. It's losing its focus right here. I want the focus. You guys are watching me get focused here. Focus, man. I'm focused. That looked like it was right. It's crazy trying to make sure these things are right. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Welcome. All right. Let me click the link. Business scenarios every single day. We're solving these problems. You guys see what the topic is. This is environmental when it comes to government and business. And you know where we were segueing from before that. So before I get big, because I'm going to get real big into this one, not a long topic. You guys know how we do this. These are 3 to maybe 6 minutes max, okay? And then we move on to the next. So it's whether you're looking into these topics and you're applying it to your business, you are just getting inspired for your next thought, whatever it is, this is what you take from these videos and you move on and you add to your production and then you call it a day, right? It is what it is. So let's get started because I don't want to waste time here. You guys know what this is. Think about it for a second. We talked about government before. We talked about how government and it being influenced in the community, how sometimes it delays problems or makes things too political. You know, it uses government, the dollars that are paying the government are from the public, right? We know how that structure works as far as taxes and things like that are concerned. Okay, so when it comes to government and diplomatic decisions, it gets drawn out and it's very far away from the doing aspect of business. Would you agree? Okay, so in some instances, right, privatized companies get more things done. But what happens when what did I just say just now? What happens when privatized companies start to harm society? What happens when the greed or the notion of making more money and disguising products as something that is beneficial to your health harms the community and the environment, all for the sake of more dollars? What happens then? You need government once again. So we did a play back and forth on that where some instances government is necessary, in some instances privatized organizations are better for customer service. But what happens when those privatized organizations start to take advantage of the public and the government and harms the community? Then we need regulations set in place to prevent humankind at the end of the day from dying as a result of that privatized company doing business. That's exactly what we don't want. You would agree. So, all right, I'm not going to name any companies or countries or anything of that nation. But if you were to take into account that when you know food production is low, but part of what you do is supplying other smaller countries that maybe aren't as much of a superpower as you are as a country or a business, let's say, right? You're supplying them, but to keep them paying you and you know you're running out of supply, you start masking the ingredients of your supply with ingredients that are more diluted with products that are not healthy, right? And you have scientists and you have a team, so you try to put as little of the product in, the diluted product, into your product as a whole, so that they're not able to identify that they're putting things in their body that in the long term is going to cause defects, health defects, birth defects, long-term illnesses that are irrecoverable, right? That become terminal. That's a problem. And when that stuff becomes identified country to country, then borders are closed as far as trade, as far as your country or your business not being able to do business with that country because they've identified, because of their government and their regulations, that when they test your product before it comes into port, that is garbage at the end of the day and it's killing people. That's a problem. That's where government steps in, and it's 100% necessary because you need an entity to step in and say, hey, no. Right? As long as money doesn't influence or sway their decisions, which, you know what, as long as there is a human being involved, there will be corruption. It just is what it is because there is no this answer or that answer, right? So, which is what computers do. It's either this answer fits or this answer fits. If neither one of those work, we're not leaving until one does work. A computer Quantum computing has now changed that quite a bit, right? So there's more of an if-then kind of scenario. But normally it's this or it's that, right? So in some instances, that's necessary in business. And that's the bomb I wanted to drop on you. At what point does production and business become unsafe for the environment and the community and our health? There you go.